So we're going to take a look at the community college data file. Again, I go to Start, Programs, SPSS, and then Statistics 17. And I launch my data file, or my statistics package. I'm going to click Cancel right here. I'm going to go to File, Open, Data. I'm going to look on my desktop. I'm going to look in Example data files, and I'm going to look at the community college data file. Now I've launched the actual raw data for the community college data file. Okay, so this data file, we're going to take a look at the variable view page. I clicked down here at variable view, and this is going to explain the variables that I'm working with. So the first variable I have is student ID, the second variable is gender, and then I have a series of ratings. I can look at my labels to know what each of these variables means. Rating 1 for course 1 is overall course quality. Rating 1_2 is the rating 1 for the second course, overall course quality, and so on. You can see that rating 2:1 is the rating number 2. It is for course 1, and it deals with the helpfulness of the instructor. The third group of ratings deals with the consistency and timely feedback. Rating 4 deals with grading. 5 are the variables associated with clear instructional objectives. The reasonableness of the assignments for 6. In-class activities beyond lecture, the ratings number 7. And rating 8, appropriate use of technology. Now remember, these are student ratings of 2 different courses. There's a first course and a second course, and we're interested in comparing the 2 courses. I can look at my values to find out how the coding works. So I click here, and then I click on my dot box. And again, I see that I have 4 values. I strongly agree for 1, I strongly disagree for 1, I disagree for a 2, I agree for a 3, or I strongly agree for a 4. This is pretty much how Likert scales are coded. And sometimes they have a neutral response, and that would be then the 3, and then there would be 4, strongly agree, or 5. But we don't need to worry about that right now. All right. So now I'm going to look at how my measures were treated. You can see in this example that I have a scale variable as a student ID and a nominal variable as gender, and then all of my ratings are coded as scale variables. This is probably not accurate. I actually probably want to make sure that these are coded as ordinal. So I'm just going to change that right now. Just click on my drop-down menu. And after I'm done changing these, I'm going to want to go up to File, Save, because anytime I make a change in this interface, it won't necessarily get saved for analysis unless I tell it to save this data file. So, File, Save, there we go. All saved. Okay, now if I go over to my data view page, I'm going to be looking at a data file that's been stacked wide. And what I mean by stacked wide is that I have each student ID only corresponding to ratings for a first or a second period. In other words, this is really different from the K-12 data file where I could have up to 4 response patterns for each of my unique identifiers. In this file, I only have 1 response pattern for my unique identifiers. So you can see student number 1 is a female. Their response to rating 1 for course 1 was a 1. Their response to rating 1 for course 2 was a 1, and so on. That's the way this file is organized. Conveniently, we have a sample of 595 students at the community college who responded to this survey in entirety. So we can take a look at this data later for trends and patterns. All right, that's how the data is organized. Again, To launch this data, I just simply go to Program, SPSS, Statistics 17, and click here. Once this is launched, just like this, I go to File, Open, and point it where I want it to look. Of course, I cancel that interface. Open Data. Community College data file, open. There we go. All right, I want to make sure you can get this data file and open it and have this view of the data. So go ahead and do that as a first step. Grab the data file from the course website, download it, and make sure you can open it, and make sure that you see exactly what I'm showing you on my screen here. Let me know if you have any questions.